Well, Bob Mayer isn't in the studio with us right now. He's outside with a special guest.
The man he's talking to about quite a history in the automobile business. Hi, Bob.
Hi, ladies. I wish I was in air conditioning, but I'd rather be down here with this old Mustang. The year was 1964, and Lee Iacocca, as vice president of the Ford Motor Company, was about to change the way America takes to the roads. He was the father of the original Mustang, which was introduced on April 17th, in fact, of 1964 at the New York World's Fair. Later, as president of the Chrysler Corporation, Iacocca changed the way we motor again by inventing the minivan. Now Iacocca is going to try to do it one more time with something called an electric bike. This is made by EV Motor Company, EV Global Motor Company. And as we speak, Lee Iacocca has just walked into our parking lot. Right over here, Mr. Iacocca. He has performed magic several times, and he's about to do it again. And he's noticing the Mustangs we have here in the parking lot.
That's in good shape.
It's an original. It's an original paint. That's my car.
64 and a half. That's right. Yep. That's it. It's beautiful.
You ought to know. You're the guy.
Yeah. Well, I have one just like it. It's blue with a white top. 64 and a half. 6,000 miles on it.
I got 42,000.
42. It looks pretty good though. It looks beautiful. Wow.
Well, listen. We were just mentioning to the audience that you've changed the way America motors a couple of times, and you're about to try to do it again.
Well, you mean with what? Electric bicycles?
Right.
Well, it's really light electric. We're not ready for electric cars yet, but maybe in 3 to 5 years. But now the technology is here for light stuff. We do bikes, folding bikes, trikes, and pretty good product, by the way.
Let's go over to the bikes and take a look, and you can tell us something about them.
All right. Well, people wonder why you need an electric bike. Well, when you get on one, you'll figure out why you need it. You'll rationalize.
Let's walk over to this one.
This is just a regular bicycle, except when you need supplemental power, this side is electric. You use the accelerator, you turn it on. Here's a 7-speed Shimano derailleur to use as a regular bike. What makes it different is, and we sell them to people of all ages, kids, people who no longer keep up with their kids or grandkids when they come to visit. People can't even keep up with their wives going across crests of hills. They'd hate to walk the bike up with the wife riding, you know. So this is a fully federalized, meaning it meets all the standards for mopeds. So it's a very safe bike, meaning it's got a tail lamp, it's got a tail light, it's got brake specs, rim specs, it's got electronic horn.
Let me talk to you for a minute about your market. You've kind of been following the baby boomers for about 40 years.
I caught them when they were 20, including Bill Clinton, I think, on Mustang. He still has a Mustang convertible also, by the way. And then I got them when they were 40, and they said, well, what happened to your baby boomer market? Well, they were young at 20, and then they had 2 kids and a dog and a cat and a nanny, and I developed a thing called a minivan, and that's the crowd who moved up at 40. And now the baby boomers, believe it or not, are starting to push 55 to 60. So I said, I'll catch them with an electric bike, you know. And that's simply what it is. Started about 3 years ago, started in California and Florida. We deal through car dealers, because I know car dealers. And they're pretty good merchants. And it struck me as a little unusual to buy a bike at a car dealership. Well, yeah, we tried bike dealers, but see, this is a $1,000 piece of sophisticated equipment with a digital controller in it. It's really a nice piece of engineering work. And bike guys didn't seem to be ready for this, although I think they'll evolve into it. I started with dealers. Somebody asked me why, because I know them all, and they're good merchants in town, and some people want to finance them, and they can handle insurance, and they can handle service. Yeah, you're right. People don't go into a dealership looking for a bike, but the good dealers see the potential of electric, and they know this is the first of many electric vehicles that will end up with a 4-wheel neighborhood electric vehicle.
Now, you're starting with this. Clearly, we're not going to drive to work on your electric bike. But
no, it's really, in California, it's strictly fun and fitness.
But you have bigger plans?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Europe, we're doing well, of course. In Holland, we're a big bike country, and they love it because it's pollution-free. And they use a lot of bikes over there. They don't have our big freeway systems. Here you can't use it to get to work, let's face it. We're not bike friendly in this country. So you got to get the infrastructure, you got to get more bike paths or bike lanes like they have in the resort areas. It's a big rental unit, it's big for recreation, it's big for retirement communities. That's the market today. $995 retail, fully equipped, the way you see it here. It's got everything on it, and it's convertible. You can take out the battery pack. Everything's integrated. There's a cord down there you carry with you. Plug in any place, 110. The charger's built in, and it's on a handle, so you can take it up to the office. And it takes, if you take it way down empty, it gets 20-mile range. You can plug it in for, it's a linear battery, you can plug it in for an hour and get 5 miles to get home, or plug it in for a full 4-hour charge and get 20 miles back.
Or just pedal.
Or pedal, right. It's the ultimate hybrid. I said when the light comes on, it says if it's green, you're full. If it's yellow, it's half full. If it goes to red, it says you only have 10% of the battery left. And it says either plug in at your nearest McDonald's or someplace or pedal like hell.
Mr. Iacocca, thank you so much for joining us today.
Nice to see you.
Kelly and Jerry, back to
Your
you.
Mustang there.
I will. I will.
Nice unit.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Bob.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Bob brought in his old classic Mustangs because, of course, Lee Iacocca developed the Mustang. And for Bob to be able to meet Lee Iacocca is like you meeting the chairman of Neiman Marcus. So it was a treat for him.
How great does Lee Iacocca look?
I think he and Ed McMahon were separated at birth.
Well, he's a thinner, younger, more handsome version. Since he's here, we should at least say.
I was going to say, you looking for a free car? Hey, one reason
Bob,
Bob...
I like that bike.
Yeah, isn't that nice? Great idea. One reason Bob had to take that interview outside is that we're slowly but surely...
Former Chrysler chairman Lee Iacocca, of course, is a true pioneer in the auto industry. He helped to create the original Mustang and later the very successful minivan.
Quite a legacy. Now he has a new project, one that's going to change the way people get around on two wheels. And NBC6 anchor Bob Mayer has our story.
Mustang. Mustang is coming.
It was April 1964 when Lee Iacocca's first blockbuster idea hit auto dealer showrooms. It was a car right for the times, an affordable sports car. The Ford Mustang went on to become one of the most popular automobiles in history. And Iacocca is still taken by the sight of a nice one. It was the first thing he noticed Wednesday morning when he literally walked into a midday live shot.
Good shape.
It's an original. It's an original paint. That's my car.
64 and a half. That's right. Yep. That's it. It's beautiful.
You ought to know. You're the guy.
Yeah. Well, I have one just like it, except it's blue with a white top.
But if you think fathering the Mustang for Ford and the minivan as president of Chrysler would be enough to earn him a quiet retirement, you'd be wrong.
If you just sit home and say, well, I'm entitled to not working the rest of my life, your mind will go. I'm convinced of it.
So at 75, Iacocca is, you'll pardon the expression, pedaling bikes. Not just any bike, mind you, electric bikes. His company, EV Global Motors, is marketing these babies in only 4 states, including Florida. You won't find Iacocca's electric bikes at bike stores. You'll find them at selected car dealerships.
I started with dealers. Somebody asked me why, because I know them all, and they're good merchants in town.
The EV Global bikes start at under $1,000, have a range of 20 miles, and recharge in 4 hours. His target? Baby boomers, again.
I caught them when they were 20, including Bill Clinton, I think, on Mustang. He still has a Mustang convertible.
Iacocca got the boomers again in the 80s with his minivan, and now he says they're ready for fun and fitness with his EV electric bike. Before he left, Iacocca signed my Mustang and made my day. Bob Mayer, NBC6.
Oh my, if you could have seen Bob this afternoon.
Bob must have been in 7th heaven. Our car expert talking to the car expert. Well, if you want more information on where you can see these bikes of the future, log on to our website at NBC6.net and talk about a gentleman whose motor is always running, Lee Iacocca.
How good did he look?
Oh, he looked fabulous. Silver fox.
You should have seen Bob. He was just floating around here all afternoon.
Anybody knows Bob, cars are his love.
Cars and business, and he had never met him, but it was really quite a day. Yeah, signed his car, took pictures. He was a great guy.
Couldn't ask
for more.
Very
nice.
Couldn't ask for more.
Asked me about it, but I told him it's
No. Okay, from a standpoint, what's our feedback, brother?
Oh, I'm sure. And I know all you guys. For the most part, I hear everybody.
I guess the more you pedal, the higher the energy gets. At the air in the tires, wait.
I'm pretty sure. I didn't see anybody walking.
I didn't either, because I was at the exit. I think there was lights on for hours.
Peel out.
This is very. Oye, mira, eso en Cuba.
Someone else has picked it up back in the States.
Oye, el que tenga eso en Cuba.
Very cool.
El top of the line.
This is the 36 volt model. Just came out. It charges up right away. Just get a couple pedals and it charges.
Well, no, actually, it doesn't.
How would you like to buy
That
it?
system is not available. It's very bulky and too expensive.
So it's just you charge it once?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, they decided they needed to go.
Look, come here. Porque batería. The little one she can go.
You know what, Carlos? Let me get going here.
Two things that are old. Bob Mayer and Bill.
What?
Nothing.
I heard that.
How does it feel, Bobby?
This is cool. Absolutely feels exactly like a bicycle, except it's got a motor. Got some pickup too. This is the way to bike.
What one of those little Yamaha 55?
No, we don't sell those. We sell a scooter that you stand on. You just bring it out, $4.99.
Electric one?
12 miles an hour.
But I mean, in comparison, what would a scooter cost compared to one of these bikes?
There's nothing to compare this to. This is an electric bike that's got no competition whatsoever. Nobody is making anything equivalent yet. Ford's supposed to have a bike out this summer.
Come down, bring it up on one with them.
Okay, man.
You ready?
Yeah.
Where's the AC on this? This thing have AC? Where are the power window controls? Hi.
So it's really not a bicycle. It is considered a motorbike in the state of Florida. But because it doesn't go for tells you what the deal is. If you really love the car, you show up and park that shit somewhere else, man.
Shit. Ain't no parking on here anyway.
Hometown, mother. He ain't coming, is he?
Not only the address, he's at the Intercontinental. Plan B. Assuming now there's no time to shoot a package. You think there is?
So?
Oh my God, you're blowing your throttle!
Oh! Thank you. What do you have, a C230? Oh God, what a dumpster car! Oh, thank Bob. You blew his head up. Thank you. God. Ah, thank you, Bob.
Hey, it's a good consumer bike.
Get up, Mr. Mayor has spoken. Get this. Bob, thank you very much. Andy Morales, third baseman. Somebody.
My Blazer, Buck.
Dude, you're paid off Blazer, might I add.
That's why he's got it. Cover it over, bro. When is he gonna get a Mercedes? Sure?
Yeah. Give me some time.
Bring it over here.
Well, people wonder why you need an electric bike. Well, when you get on one, you'll figure out why you need it. You'll rationalize it. This is just a regular bicycle, except when you need supplemental power, this side is electric. You use the accelerator, you turn it on. Here's a 7-speed Shimano derailleur to use as a regular bike. What makes it different is, and we sell them to people of all ages, kids, people who no longer keep up with their kids or grandkids when they come to visit. People can't even keep up with their wives going across crescent hills. They hate to walk the pickup with the wife riding, you know. So this is a fully federalized, meaning it meets all the standards for mopeds. So it's a moped, so it's a very safe bike, meaning it's got a tail lamp, it's got a tail light, it's got brake specs, rim specs, it's got electronic horn.
Let me talk to you for a minute about your market. You've kind of been following the baby boomers for about 40 years.
I caught them when they were 20, including Bill Clinton, I think, on Mustang. He still has a Mustang convertible also, by the way. And then I got them when they were 40 and said, well, what happened to your baby boomer market? Well, they were young at 20 and then they had 2 kids and a dog and a cat and a nanny, and I developed a thing called a minivan, and that's the crowd who moved up at 40. And now the baby boomers, believe it or not, are starting to push 55 to 60. So I said, I'll catch them with an electric bike, you know. And that's simply what it is. Started about 3 years ago. Started in California and Florida. We deal through car dealers, because I know car dealers, and they're pretty good merchants. And
but who's? It struck me as a little unusual to buy a bike at a car dealership.
Well, yeah, we tried bike dealers, but see, this is a $1,000 piece of sophisticated equipment with a digital controller in it. It's really a nice piece of engineering work. And bike guys didn't seem to be ready for this, although I think they'll evolve into it. I started with dealers, somebody asked me why, because I know them all, and they're good merchants in town. Some people want financing, they can handle insurance, they can handle service. Yeah, you're right, people don't go into a dealership looking for a bike, but the good dealers see the potential of electric, and they know this is the first of many electric vehicles that will end up with a 4-wheel neighborhood electric vehicle.
Now you're starting with this. Clearly we're not going to drive to work on your electric bike. But
no, it's really, in California, it's strictly fun and fitness.
But you have bigger plans?
Well, yeah, I don't know. In Europe, we're doing well. Of course, in Holland, we're a big bike country. And they love it because it's pollution-free. And they use a lot of bikes over there. They don't have our big freeway systems. Here, you can't use it to get to work. Let's face it. We're not bike-friendly in this country. So you got to get the infrastructure. You got to get more bike paths or bike lanes like we have in the resort areas. It's a big rental unit. It's big for recreation. It's big for retirement communities. That's the market today. $995 retail, fully equipped, the way you see it here. Got everything on it. It's convertible. You can take out the battery pack. Everything's integrated. The cord down there you carry with you. Plug in any place, 110. The charger's built in, and it's on a handle, so you can take it up to the office. And it takes, if you take it way down empty, it gets 20-mile range. You can plug it in for, it's a linear battery. You can plug it in for an hour and get 5 miles to get home, or plug it in for a full 4-hour charge and get 20 miles.
Or just pedal.
Or pedal, right. It's the ultimate hybrid. I said, when the light comes on, it says if it's green, you're full. If it's yellow, it's half full. If it goes to red, it says you only have 10% of the battery left. It says either plug in at your nearest McDonald's or someplace, or pedal like hell.
Mr. Iacocca, thank you so much for joining us today.
I see it.
Kelly and Jerry, back to you.
Your Mustang there.
I will. I will.
Nice unit.
Thank you.
These have the original hubcaps, wheel covers.
Huh?
How many people have the original wheel covers?
Yeah, this is all original. The paint's original. I got a big garage. I'm a car guy. Got about 12 antiques. I was on it when I got it. This one had a paint job, but other than that, it's the interior's original. Everything's original on that except for the paint. The what?
The little speed lights.
Right. Right. Now, how did you know that this was what's the 64 and a half?
64 and a half. That's nothing on here.
Carlos? Yeah, I'm rolling that for later.
So we put the 3 speed lines on that to get the 65. That's what you can tell. Not many people can tell. You got probably the 289 V8.
Yep.
That was the hot unit. It was pretty nice unit performance-wise with the 289.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, it's amazing. I mean, there's not many cars that are 30-some years old that you can get behind and drive and enjoy driving still.
Yeah, sure.
You know, this feels like a new car.
Yeah, your interior looks great, by the way.
Yeah,
I had a pony interior with the 2 little leather things on it, the little ponies. We did that. That was just...
Yeah, the other one had, the 66 has the pony.
66 has a pony.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a couple other questions. I want to come over here because I want to, for the later show, we're going to do something else. I want to talk to you about retirement and how apparently when you left Chrysler, you were going to retire for a little while.
Yeah, I retired for a couple of years, played golf and did stuff like that.
I guess you didn't like it?
Well, you can only go home for lunch so long and play golf so long. You finally got to keep your mind active, you know? It's one thing, exercise, eat well, keep your body right. But if you have nothing to do, even if you're financially secure, you'll go crazy. So I tell anybody thinking of retirement, you better have a plan. If you don't want to keep working, you got to volunteer, you got to do something. Play the piano, learn to speak Italian, do something. But if you just sit home and say, well, I'm entitled to not working the rest of my life, your mind will go. I'm convinced of it. So I try to keep busy. I didn't want to get this busy, by the way. I don't like the traveling anymore.
But you're not dealing with the unions and potential strikes anymore.
No.
I mean, how different is it?
Pretty different. An entrepreneurial, a startup like this bike business, I always say at Ford and even at Chrysler, I'd press a button and the world specialist would come in and I'd delegate it to him. Now I press a button, nobody comes in but the girl, my secretary. There's nobody to do it. You can do it all yourself. That's the difference.
How do you feel about what's happened to Chrysler?
Great. God, they're a money machine. They're doing well. Yeah. They were bought out by the Germans, and that's a good company, but they'll work it out in time.
All right. I'd like to ask you a favor, if you would. Could I get you to sign my? Both of them from the original owner.
You got to shake it. You got the pony interior here.
Yeah. Yeah. Lee's gonna sign my dashboard for me.
Where do you want it signed?
Outside, right there. Yeah.
Right here. You have to do it gradually or it closes up on you.
Do you drive yours?
Yeah. I give it to my daughter. She was born 2 months after the Mustang introduction.
Really?
So when she was 30 years old, I said, why am I keeping it in the garage? You know, so I gave it to her for a gift.
Does she drive it? Does she use it?
She keeps it running.
Yeah.
It's in Palm Springs of all places, but doesn't drive it a lot.
Come do the other one for me, would you? Since we're right here. Thanks. Ooh. Thank you very much, sir.
These are 2 great units. Wow.
Thank you.
You want to know if you just get a shot of you just pulling it up one driver's car.
That'll kind of open up the piece.
You gotta ask Lee. It has seatbelts in the car, so don't worry. I got why do you have the top on? You want to put the top down?
You're right. We should have put it down. Just didn't think of it.
Can you put it down? Put it down?
Yeah, let's put the top down.
Let's put the top down.
Let's put the top. You want to grab that other one? There's a little,
I know.
Yeah.
There you go. I know this so well because when we did this top, when I went to Chrysler, you know, they didn't know how to do a top. I said, just go buy yourself a Mustang and copy the top exactly.
Really?
Yeah, because it turned out to be a good latch.
You look good.
Yep, well, I feel good. Nice day, huh? Hi, how are you doing? How are you?
Just pull it up and see how it feels.
Feels great. I'll tell you that. You have a brake up here? No, you're fine. Looks terrific. Keep in good shape, don't you? Fantastic.
You belong in that car.
Yeah, thank you. I think now I want to go home and drive mine. I haven't driven it in a while. $36 years old. Still hanging in there, huh?
Yeah. Oh, this is my son Chad. He works here too.
You have the other car?
Yeah, that's mine. The 66 over there.
That's Bob's son?
I love it too.
Let me get a shot of you and Lee together.
Sure. Both those cars, I don't know.
I'll hold it.
I made it, didn't I, Bob?
Yeah, you sure did.
Last time we had something set up, we screwed up. We had, I tell you what it was, a long time ago, Princess Diana and Princess Charles were in town before she died. She was doing a polo.
Yeah.
You should have taken your plan.
Well, can you wipe that off? Yeah. See if you can wipe that off quick. I got it. Give me the pen I used. Was your black ink?
No, this was it. It'll come off with, we can take it off later.
Do the other side.
This pen won't do it.
Even if we shake it?
Well, you got to do it downwards. You have to do it downwards, not on the side. That's the problem.
Down?
Yeah, down, up and down. Like this here, right across.
Oh, that's a good idea.
across here.
So all of a sudden now, this is a heavy pen.
Probably got
So I think a 2-year-old did this, but tell them it's the best we can do.
Perfect.
Oh,
That's some water. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. We're late.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate it.
Dean, thank you.
As soon as you think you're going to check and bring it home tonight, anything they want.
Oh, it's. I can't get it today because it was a live shot.
Oh, but they'll give it to you
Tomorrow.
tonight or tomorrow,
Yeah,
please.
sure.
I got some pictures of you and him.